down to the wire.
Showtime.
That was
Is it live, Andy?
That was close.
And then
Showtime, Darcy.
Well, I know Darcy's a big fan.
Christ,
Darcy's
he's
looking
been
for some
killed.
Hellripper.
we got
G.
Gordon as well.
Gordon.
How are we doing,
Okay,
everyone?
we'll give it a minute like we normally do, and let's get some people on. How are you guys?
Mike, what are you doing?
He likes
I-
to
Well done,
do
Mike.
that.
Oh, I don't know what the fuck is going on. You've done this to me last time.
Yeah, well, I've got my headphone. Anyone who's watching now, I've got my headphones. So if it goes all crazy clicking, hopefully this is going to sort it. But I like to do the clicking. Mike likes to go sideways every now and again.
And I'll just cut out.
The only no, Scott's been really good since week
I've been
one.
quite consistent.
You've been impressive, mate. Very impressive.
Got the overkill group.
Cheers,
Yeah.
everybody. Anyway, hope you're doing all right on a Friday.
Do you know what, guys? I don't think listen to us today, do they? So we've got our first special guest on Contacting Blood channel today, and from a local band for certainly for me and Scott up in Scotland, HELLRIPPER, and so from HELLRIPPER we've got James MacBain, and should we bring him in, lads?
Bring him in.
Absolutely.
Go on, then. We might as well.
Hi, James. Welcome to Contacting Blood.
Hey guys, how's it going?
James,
Excellent.
thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Good evening, James. Yeah, thanks for taking the time to have a chat with us reprobates. It's very kind of you.
No problem.
I was thinking, just by way of introduction, just in case, on the off chance one or two people are watching and they maybe don't know who you are, James, can you kind of give us a bit of an introduction about you and your band?
Yeah, I'm James, and I play in a band. It's a solo project called HELLRIPPER, black speed metal. I guess similar to newer bands like Midnight, Toxic Holocaust, similar to older bands, Metallica, Venom, Motorhead. I guess that's the kind of vibe of it. Yeah, that's about it. If you like metal punk, black speed, thrash, yeah, it should do something for you, I guess.
Well, it's your chance to plug your new album now, just in case you get the odd person who clicks and then clicks off it, for something else. So, when is the new album out? What's it called? What sort of details can you give us, James?
So the new album is called The Affair of the Poisons. It's 8 tracks. It'll be out on October 9th via Peaceville Records, and it's out on vinyl, cassette, and CD. And you can get it on Bandcamp, Spotify, all that stuff as well.
Are the cassettes sold out then?
Sorry?
Are the cassettes sold out now, James?
No, I managed to get more ordered from the label. They sold out within the first day, like my initial batch, but I managed to reorder them, like get another reorder in. So there's still a few cassettes left.
Plenty to go then.
So how does that make you feel when you put out a release and it sells out straight away? That must feel pretty good.
Yeah, it feels amazing. I mean, yeah, like every time someone asks how I feel about the following and stuff, like the original thought was that I would get like 10 people in my local scene maybe liking the band or something. So it's progressed from that, and I'm really, it's really cool. Just anything above that is like, I appreciate every purchase, listen, share, whatever. So yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
So how does it feel when you've got like a month to go before your next album comes out? How are you feeling right now about the album? Is it like excitement or nerves or?
Yeah, it's exciting, but I've already kind of gone through it because the album was supposed to come out in May originally. I recorded it I started recording it in July last year, finished in December, and it was supposed to be released April, May. And we had like all the the label had all the ads sorted out, and we were getting ready to promote it and everything. The release date was, I think, May 15th, and then it was about a month or so to go, and then we decided we had to postpone it because of the coronavirus, because we thought, yeah, we didn't know how that would affect things, so we decided to postpone it. So I've kind of already went through it, getting ready to get everything released, get promoting, get sharing and everything, and had to wait another 6 months.
I know, that's a pain in the arse.
No, it's
just getting that kind of hype to go for it, and then just getting it put back.
exactly. It's annoying, but oh well. It just gave me more time to write stuff, so I'm halfway through the next album already.
So I was going to say, it probably gave you a lot of time just to kind of sit and just basically write more music for next releases, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, next album, I've got 4, 5, 6 songs half written.
Is that how you've been filling your time while this COVID shit's been going on? Just writing stuff?
Basically, throughout the summer I was at my parents', so I wasn't really productive for a while. But yeah, other than that, it's just been writing music, trying to do other projects, just try to keep busy while shit's happening. Really.
Yeah.
It's dragging on a bit now, isn't it?
Has it been any different for you with sort of knowing that this one's coming out on Peaceville Records? Has it felt like a little bit more pressure, or have they had a lot of involvement in it, or has it kind of felt like the same process of your other albums?
Yeah, it's the same process. They weren't involved at all, really. They just told me to send them the album once I had it finished, and that was it. But I mean, yeah, it is weird to think that it's coming out on Peaceville Records, like a label that's had and has so many like of my favorite bands and stuff. So like, yeah, it's a strange feeling. It's like a different feeling, but it never really affected the writing or anything. Or they never got involved in stuff. I just wrote what
How did that come about, James? Because you were on the you were on Radio Metal Productions, weren't you, for the release of the compilation album?
Yeah.
And then, so how did you end up on Peaceville? I mean, did you push your wares, sort of thing? Did you push yourself out there, or were you picked up from Peaceville, with them sort of keeping their ear to the ground and looking for underground stuff? Or what? How did that work out for you?
Yeah, basically, I just while we were on tour last year, I think we were stuck in a traffic jam on our way to the London show, and I just checked my emails, and I just had an email from Peaceville, and that was it basically. And I think, I believe that Paul, who's in charge of Peaceville, a couple of his friends recommended that he check out the band, and that is basically that's how it happened. Really, I never sent anything to them or whatever. They just got an email from them saying they were interested, and that was it.
It just shows you how different it is nowadays. Like the record company sort of people will email you to say they're interested. Years ago, it was they always came to the gigs. They came to the gig, saw the band, liked what they heard, and had a little word with you afterwards. But it's that's the sort of the modern face of metal. They just email you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's I'd love to have like a glamorous answer, like, oh yeah, they saw us live and thought we were the best ever, or we were so impressive. But no, yeah, just got an email.
Mark, how did you get signed, Mark, to Century Media? What just quickly, obviously, what was it different back then? Because Mark's band was on Century Media like 25 years ago, weren't you?
Yeah. We put out a demo tape, and I think it was our vocalist got a phone call, or maybe even a letter, because at the time of the demo tape, he'd put his address on there, because that's the way you corresponded back in those days. It was before mobile phones and the internet, and I'm not sure if Century Media. I'm not sure. We actually did tout and sort of send a few letters out to different record labels with a demo tape, asking if they were interested. And Century Media were the first label that came back and said, we'd be interested. Yeah, have you got any more material recorded? And so we did a few rehearsal tapes, and that's how that happened. But it was quite a long process because it was phone calls and letters. You know, that was the way it was corresponded.
Have you got some locusts there, James?
Locusts.
Can anyone hear that fucking noise?
I can, let's see.
Yeah.
I just assume it's Mark.
Oh, James has brought the
It won't get noise.
Is that better?
Could you not hear that, James?
No, I could not hear that. Is that better now?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Normally that's Mark.
So I want to.
Mark.
I know some of you guys and some people watching are amused. I like listening to music, but I haven't got a creative musical bone in my body. I can imagine it's pretty cool being in a band, but when you're doing it all yourself, I mean, how do you even record things just by yourself? For your album, do you get session musicians in, or do you play and do everything on the recording?
Yeah, just myself. Yeah, it's easier. It's easier for me to work on my own. Yeah, just everything's done here in this room. I just yeah, I mean that's it. It's easier.
Impressive.
I mean, that is really impressive, because I always found playing in Enchantment that when I had ideas or other guys had ideas, when we got together, we kind of played the riffs, you taught each other the riffs, and then we'd sort of jam it out, and someone would say, oh, we'll maybe try this little, lead harmony there, and things always sort of evolved from, and I kind of relied on riffs that I wrote to mature in the rehearsal space with ideas coming from the other lads in the band. So for you to be doing all that yourself, and every sort of idea you have is just from you and no one else, that is really quite impressive, to be honest.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, is it because you find it easier to work on your own that you're a solo project, or did you just not have people around to create a band with, or was it always your intention to go solo?
Yeah, basically the original reason I went when it's solo was because I couldn't. There wasn't anyone else that was interested in playing the same stuff. So it was just out of necessity, really, that I went solo. And then I thought it was a good opportunity as well to learn how to record, learn how to mix and stuff, learn how to do stuff on my own. So I took that opportunity, and then I liked it better than being a band. So it's just stayed like this. It's easier for me to not compromise. Everything is how I want it and stuff, and so sometimes it takes longer to do stuff because you've not got loads of people pitching in ideas and stuff. But yeah, I get.
But then again, that could probably add to your frustration if it's kind of your baby.
Yeah,
people pitching in maybe some ideas that you're not too keen on, that can kind of cause fallouts if you're not taking other people's suggestions. So in a way, you're probably purifying your music to exactly what you want.
Yeah, exactly. It's everything is. The good thing is that I can work to my own timetable, my own schedule. So I can take ages, I can take years to write a song. I don't need to finish it. I can. Yeah, so it's I work at my own schedule. If I want to record something, I can just do it whenever I want and stuff. So it's it's both convenient, less expensive because I don't have to hire out studios. I don't need to pay for rehearsals and stuff. And it's my own vision. So it's it's just a hobby and stuff. So it's just a hobby. So it's something I enjoy doing by myself whenever. So it's
And obviously you're very proficient at playing all the instruments. Is that something that you kind of grew up doing? Was learning all the instruments, or were you kind of just a guitarist and you sort of taught yourself to play the drums, or what came first, really?
Yeah. Oh, I cannot play the drums. The drums are programmed. So I can play guitar and bass. I mean, I picked up bass just because I had to, just because it's similar to guitar, I guess. I don't need any slap bass and stuff like that. So it's basically, I'm not like trying to do Steve Harris type shit like that. So it's just I play with straightforward kind of bass. And yeah, guitar, I played guitar since I was like, I don't know, 10, 13, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just kind of carried on improving on guitar from there. And yeah,
Who would you say your early influences were then, James, musically? I mean, what bands, you know, were sort of in the back of your mind when it came to, you know, starting off HELLRIPPER? Because I pulled some, there they are, I pulled some bands out that I thought might be, you know, instrumental, and I hear a lot of Kill 'Em All.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I hear a lot of Endless Pain.
Funnily enough, not originally, but yes.
First Battery.
Yeah, definitely.
Motorhead, not necessarily that album, but I just grabbed it, you know.
That's my favorite Motorhead album, but yeah.
And Running Wild.
Running Wild early stuff, yeah, definitely.
So have I kind of nailed you down there, or you know what other things inspired you?
Don't let him be so smug. You have to come up with somebody else, otherwise we'll not hear the end.
Come up with something at least another 5 bands, because don't let Mike have all the glory.
Oh no. Instead of Motorhead, I mean I am influenced by Motorhead, of course, but I was trying to go for more of a Tank kind of sound, like kind of that. So Tank definitely, Megadeth as well, especially Peace Sells, Venom, especially the first 3 albums, and then a lot of new bands, Midnight, Toxic Holocaust, a lot of the newer thrash bands, Warbringer, bands like Enforcer, like a lot of speed metal like that, Exciter, Razor, Enforcer, Ranger, Evil Invaders, King Diamond, Merciful Fate, Dark Throne, like their punk stuff.
Yeah.
Sodom. Yeah, just Slayer, especially the first couple.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good bands to be influenced by.
Yeah, you go on for ages. There's too many.
Not a bad one there.
No,
I think I've been listening. I mean, prior to this video tonight, I've been listening to all my cassettes tonight. You know, just like getting myself fired up for it, basically. And I thought to myself, when you play a guitar solo, which is pretty much every song, there's a solo in there. It's absolutely fantastic because it's like a mini song within a song. Like Slayer is like, for as much as I love Slayer, you can shove those fucking solos up your ass. The shit. Apart from the one on Seasons in the Abyss, I couldn't tell you one from another. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Whereas yours are mini songs within a song, and you know, to me, it's like the whole package. Probably there's people out there like saying, "Oh, you're crawling up his ass because he's on your video." You're on our video because I love you that much, sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Fucking awesome.
By the way, my Slayer have just.
I'm getting another can.
Oh my god!
We had Slayer up next. They just cancelled, unfortunately. Yeah. So never mind.
So what I wanted to ask was, when it comes to obviously recording, you do everything yourself. But when you want to go and play live, how does that work? Like with the live band and stuff?
Yeah, so it's just a few mates basically. Like, I got involved. The lineup's changed a bit throughout the last couple of years. But yeah, it's basically just a few of my mates that are amazing at their instruments and stuff. So they're happy to help out. They enjoy similar music, so they're happy to play live. So yeah, it's just as simple as that. Although we're based in 4 different places, so that's a nightmare. Like I'm up in the Highlands. Clarky, the bassist, is in Aberdeen. Joseph, the guitarist, is in Glasgow, and Max, our drummer, lives in Brighton. So,
right,
Wow.
it's pretty spread out then.
Yeah, so it makes like getting, especially one-off gigs, like if someone offers us a show like at a weekend or whatever, or just one show somewhere, it's like difficult to set it up because it's like a 12-hour travel time. It's like 4 times the travel costs and stuff. So it's like sometimes it's a bit difficult, but so usually we focus on like we're trying to focus on like at least weekenders or tours and stuff, like more than one show that makes it like worth it, so we don't like lose a whole bunch of money and stuff like that. I mean, the travel for 4 of us and the time it would take, I mean, it'd take like an extra day for the travel, and then it's of course 4 times the travel costs, so it's like it's a nightmare, but it's gone well so far.
So how's have you got a tour lined up?
No, not at the moment. We've got a couple of dates in the UK that are still going ahead next month. But the one with Midnight has been cancelled, which is unfortunate, but nothing that can be done.
Yeah, I know. Well, I suppose it's going to be up in the air for a lot of people like yourself when you've got albums coming out and you want to get out and tour, but it's going to be pretty hard, I suppose, for the next year or so, So
yeah, I think so. I mean, I just feel lucky. There's a lot of bands like that had their tours cancelled earlier in the year, where they lost like a shit ton of money. Like they had already booked all their flights, and had a whole bunch of merch and all that shit. So like, I feel lucky that I didn't lose thousands of pounds and stuff. Like some of these other bands, like it's just a shit situation for everyone, but especially people who lost out so much like that.
Yeah, it's been really tough, hasn't it? And how's it work with your live band? Do you sort of rely on the lads to know what they're doing before you go on tour, or do you get together for a couple of weeks rehearsing the songs?
Yeah, we get together a couple times before we get on the road doing stuff. But everyone, like the other guys, are like really good at their instruments, so they know what they're doing beforehand, and we turn up, and usually it's just a case of like getting stuff a bit tighter and stuff, and working out little bits, which is good, so everyone knows what they're doing before, so it's like so we don't waste time and stuff.
And your drummer will have to stay fit because he's like a machine, isn't he?
Oh, he is. He's ridiculous. He's uploads regular YouTube drum covers. He puts up stuff like I think he covered Vader and stuff like that, and a lot of hardcore and stuff. So yeah, he's ridiculous. Yeah,
he is very good. I've seen a few live shows on YouTube, and he is a machine. He really is.
Yeah.
So what's the plans for, say, the next few years then? I mean, obviously I've never recorded anything in my life, so I don't know how it works, but do you have like a kind of schedule of what you want to do each year and tour album, or do you just kind of take it as it comes, or?
Yeah, kind of a mixture of both. Like I kind of have a goal, like I want to get stuff done roughly around whatever time. So I'm hoping to have the next album out either late next year or early 22, and then hopefully like we tour in between. But like, I mean, you've got to kind of take what comes, and especially right now, we've got no idea what's going on, like when live shows will return and stuff. So it's difficult to plan when like if we book a tour or something then we just have to cancel it.
Yeah,
like we're trying to plan vaguely what goes on, but kind of take it as it goes as well. I mean, it just depends. Like a lot of stuff happens when you're not planning it. Like we've been offered like tours and shows and stuff when we're not planning it, like when we're not looking for shows or whatever, and then some cool opportunity comes up. So I mean, yeah, just whatever happens, like you consider that, like take that into account and see what we can do, see what's possible, I guess.
Do you think you'll look to speaking to the guys out of Midnight, maybe organising something with them, seeing as this one got let down? Because it's a real shame that gig's not happening, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're looking forward to that, and I think definitely it's one of the best bands like that we fit in with. I think like to tour with, like style wise. But yeah, hopefully they come back, and we'll be able to tour with them again. Because it would be cool, but I mean the main thing is that everyone's safe and stuff. I mean,
yeah, of course it is.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing you can do. So I mean, there's no point in worrying about it or crying about it. I mean, I feel lucky that I haven't lost loads of money doing it. Like I never got loads of merch printed that can't be sold. We never booked loads of hotels and stuff. So it's not a huge loss, if you know what I mean. It's just that.
I do feel sorry for some of the bands that have done that, with the, like you say, the merch with all the sort of tour dates on the back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's scary, isn't it, for a lot of bands?
Yeah, there was. I know what was the festival? I think it was a festival in Greece earlier this year. I can't remember the name of it, but there was a few bands that like the borders closed or something like that while they were like on the flights to the festival. The festival like cancelled, but the festival had to be cancelled like while they were on the flight on the way to the festival, and they were like had to quickly get back to like America, Canada, and stuff like that.
Wow!
And buy new flights, and yeah, it's just I feel bad for like those kind of bands where shit like that happened to them. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I think I tell you what I thought was quite cool. The band Gruesome.
Yeah.
They were due to play, I think, throughout England with Christian, supporting Christian, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
Brazilian band.
Yeah.
And they'd had all their tour shirts made up, but obviously it wasn't going to happen. So they had put over the back of the tour, like all the tour dates, cancelled due to coronavirus, and they were selling them on Bandcamp and on their website.
That's
and
cool.
I thought, it is quite cool because God knows how many hundreds of shirts they must have had printed up.
Oh, yeah.
And they were selling them fairly cheap, but I think quite a few people bought them, and I thought it was quite a nice show from the fans, really, to say, yeah, do you know what, we'll take them off you. It's there's a lot of money goes into merch, and I have to say I've seen all your new merch that's come up on Bandcamp, and you've got a nice selection there.
Yeah, I've got a T-shirt. I bought a new T-shirt.
Thank you very much. Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
I bought a hoodie.
I saw
we told you we're super fans.
I know, we could have been real like fan geeks and worn our T-shirts and done what Mike done and put his wee flag up.
And do you? Because I can see the shelves in the background. Are you personally in charge of all that merch? Do you do that all yourself?
Yeah, all that here. There's shelves here. That's where all the merch is stock. I don't have the new stuff yet, and I'm dreading for when that comes in. Because there's so much of it. There's I think I'm gonna have 500-600 new bits of clothing to find a space for.
I think you're going to be a busy bee, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I decided for the pre-orders of the album and the new merch that I was going to handwrite a note for every pre-order and stuff, and that's going to take fucking.
Awesome. We'll
be expecting hours.
What's your favourite song, James, that you've composed so far? I pick a different one every other week from the last EP. At the moment, it's the title track, Black Alchemy. That riff that you've done in that runs right through it is just phenomenal. It's up there with Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. It's just unbelievable. But do you have a favourite song that you've done so far, or is that on the new album, or what's the deal there? Dem Dykes one, by the way, just fucking slays that song.
Yeah, Dem Dyke's a weird one. Now I like it. That was one of the songs I wasn't going to put on the first album, because I recorded it, and without the vocals, it sounded weird. I didn't like how it turned out, like without the vocals. So considering not putting that on the album, but then I decided just to record the vocals to see how it turned out, and then that seems to be most people's favorite song from the album.
Yeah, that's a killer song, Dem Dyke.
Yeah. But my favorites, I mean, there's a few of them. I mean, I do like Black Arts and Alchemy, the title track. I do enjoy like the guitar playing, like it's a fun song to play. All Hail the Goat as well, just because it's like catch. I like the guitar playing. A lot of them I like because they're fun to play. I mean, yeah, it's difficult for me to listen to them from a listener's perspective, because I know how I recorded them. I know I can hear bits that are wrong. I remember how I recorded stuff or whatever. But there is a couple from the new album that I'm really happy about. The title track of the new album and the closing track of the new album. I think they're a couple of my favorites that I've ever written. I think they've got some different stuff going on, like the usual. Like not too different, but it's like some kind of new elements that I've introduced to the sound, which I think are really cool.
I think that's why you appeal to a lot of people, though, because you do, and your albums, your EPs, you get in there, you do it, and get out. A lot of these bands now are coming out with albums that are like an hour and a half long, and you're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But you just get in there, get it done, and get out, and that's how I love that. Do you know what I mean? It's quality over quantity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think it depends on the style as well. I mean, a band like Opeth, for example, like I love their music, and obviously all their songs are like 10 minutes, but it has to be like that, so it's cool. But if I released an album that was like an hour and a half long, I'd be bored myself. Like it's what I mean. It's quite a refreshing thing, because you don't really seem to get that anymore. Do you know? And it's good at the same time, because you listen to the album, you think, oh fuck, it's finished. You know what I mean? But that's a good thing, because you're kind of you're wanting more, but you don't want to kind of go overboard with it. So. Yeah, exactly.
People want more than have too much, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd rather that than have a
film. What I love as well is the if you've watched this channel before, James, and you've seen me talking, or anyone else that's watched this, I'm pretty fucking hard to please. I'm a bit of an old twat who's like, fuck off, that's not as good as back in the day, and I can't help it. I'm nearly fucking 50, and that's just how it is. But with your stuff, it's believable now. Like, when I see some of these like new wave of thrash, they feel like it's come out of a fucking factory. Like they've been doing a checklist. Have certain band name. Like there's a band called the Ultraviolence, which is the title of the first Death Angel album, and I know bands have done that forever. Like Suffocation took the name from a song off the first Obituary album, but it isn't as obvious. And I feel like that, they've got the image, the name, the logo, the artwork. Get Ed Repka in, do the artwork. I feel like they go through like a checklist, and it doesn't feel to me as it being like an old fogey as believable. Whereas your stuff. And if this isn't the case, I don't want you to fucking tell me and spoil it. But it feels like you really fucking mean them lyrics when you're barking them fuckers out. It's one thing that you can play guitar the way you can, but it's quite another to step up to the mic and like do what you do. And I'm 47 and fuck all excites me at the moment. But when I put your shit on, I honestly lose my shit, and I'm not just fucking. It's like fucking get there, and you make me feel like that's how you felt when you put the vocal track down for that song. Like I say, whether you did or not, don't fucking spoil my illusion.
I mean, yeah, it's just what comes naturally. I mean, I don't try to. record in any style really. I mean, I've got an idea of what I want to do, and I just kind of record what comes. I mean, yeah, there's nothing more to it than that. Like if I like how something sounds, I'll put it in. Yeah, I mean,
well, that's actually what's refreshing about your sound as well, because you've obviously got so many influences there. I was listening to Coagulating Darkness a couple of days ago, and I was even thinking there's like, even sounds like there's like 70s influences there. Like the tone of the guitars were like almost like late 70s hard rock, and then obviously you've got the Motorhead with the kind of blackened vocals, and it sounds, when you say it like that, and I've tried to kind of explain your music to people before, and it comes out like a mishmash of shit when I try to explain it. It doesn't make any sense, because you're like, it's blackened vocals, it's kind of thrashy, it's speed metal with like rock and roll, and but when you listen to it, it's so refreshing because all these things just work perfectly together. So I mean, like Mike said, I'm not going to follow on from how excited Mike was, but it's really refreshing to hear because it's just really different.
I like to. Yeah, like I like a lot of different music, like both like metal and rock, punk, even pop, 60s, 50s kind of stuff. And I guess even like subconsciously that'll come through the in the music, like just like even if it's not like a riff, just like the way like a song structured, or just I don't know, like I guess that's how the Hellripper sound comes. I mean, I'm not saying like I don't think Hellripper's like got a unique sound. I mean, I think there's a lot of bands doing the same kind of thing, but I think I try to give it my own like spin on that.
Definitely.
So yeah, like obviously all the 70s bands, 80s bands. I mean, even like Motley Crue, like all that kind of stuff. Yeah, of course, like even like AC/DC, the first Judas Priest couple of albums, like Sad Wings and all that. Yeah.
I'm just a bit worried that if in 10 years' time there's a band comes out called All Hail the Goat, I don't know what Mike's going to do. He'll have some kind of breakdown.
I think it's because we've got some questions. People in the room.
Sorry, on you go.
I say we've got some questions from people that have closed up, and then we can get back to our band after. A few people have been waiting patiently. So Brendan is actually in Australia. So have you played any shows in Australia, or is that something you'd like to do?
I'd love to do it. I'd absolutely love to do it. I haven't even been to Australia, but I'd love to do it. It's just, I mean, we've only done one tour. So, I mean, we played like, I don't even know, maybe between 30 to 50 shows. So, like, we haven't even done a lot live, really. Mm-hmm. So, I think probably we're going to focus on doing Europe and the UK, like, first. And then hopefully get to Australia, Asia, the US and stuff. But there's so many like different things you've got to take.
And you can say
visas and all that, and visas, costs, time. There's so much shit to sort out. But as soon as I'm in a place to be able to do that, I'd love to get everywhere, like Australia. Like I said, Australia, Asia, and all that, America.
And is that something that you would have to organise yourself, or now that you're kind of part of the Peaceville family, do they have any kind of involvement in the promotional side of things and booking tours with maybe bands on the same label? How's it work?
Yeah, I haven't actually spoke to them about that. For Europe, we're represented by Doomstar. So it's a booking agent, so they take care of most of that in Europe, like most of the finding tours and helping us get stuff done and all that. So like they've been a big help, in that respect. It takes a lot of the work off of me for doing that, and they're obviously better at doing it. Like, they've got better contacts. They know how to do it. Yeah, unmuted. So yeah, I'm represented by them in Europe. Elsewhere, it would probably just be myself taking care of it, unless I found people to represent me in these different areas. But I haven't really looked into it, to be honest. I'm sure Peaceful could maybe help with it and stuff, but I haven't spoke to them about it.
Yeah.
Because it's not something that I've like seriously thought of right now. Like, I think I'm trying to focus on getting Europe, not like getting Europe and stuff, just as like a starting point.
And that's great that your music's getting out there, because obviously for a lot of bands, their music gets out there because they tour so much.
Yeah.
But you say you've only done between 30 and 50 shows and everyone's still coming for your music is awesome. So imagine where you'll get when you really start getting a tour on the go.
I know, it's really cool that we've kind of we started our first tour was playing. We had a show with Midnight. We played at the pre-show of Roadburn and stuff. So like, I feel like really lucky that our first actual tour was like well done and stuff, and there's some cool shows on it. But yeah, hopefully that can continue. Hopefully we can build on that and stuff.
Yeah.
Another question there at the bottom.
Next question. People are asking about.
I was wondering this as well about the reissues.
Reissues.
You guys coming in.
So the reissues, Coagulating Darkness, I believe, is going to be reissued at the start of next year.
Nice one.
By
That's a pain in the arse to get.
Oh yeah, I know. And Complete and Total Mayhem, I believe that will get reissued at some point. I'm just not sure when. And Black Arts, I think there's still a few left up at Reaper Metal Productions, Bandcamp, and Hell Headbangers. But I believe that'll get reissued whenever that sells out. So everything will be reissued at some point.
Well, look, all those got reissued through Peaceville.
No, they'll be reissued through their respective labels.
Oh, excellent.
So Diabolic Might will reissue the first two, and Reaper will reissue Black Arts.
Going to be on all three formats.
I'm trying to think of what label released what. So Complete and Total Mayhem, I believe the CDs have just been repressed through Reaper Metal Productions. The vinyls will be repressed through Diabolic Might, but I'm unsure when. I have reprinted the Coagulating Darkness CDs and tapes. And Diabolic Might will repress the vinyl. And Black Arts, that's still available on CD and still available on vinyl.
Excellent. I know a lot of people are wondering that, because I've had messages as well, like where to find it, and I've obviously on my channel I've showed what I've bought. I actually just managed to get a copy of Complete and Utter. I managed to get a copy of that a couple of weeks ago, but Coagulating Darkness is nowhere to be found. I've tried so many different places, and then it comes up selling it. You go to buy it, sold out. I'm like, a bastard.
Yeah, it's mental. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, and then whenever I see it on sale, it's like 50 quid or something. I'm like, please don't pay that. That's too extreme.
You know, James, with the style of music you play, you've got like a blackened. It's blackened thrash, isn't it? That's what you would call it. And a lot of blackened music and black metal and all that. Was there ever a temptation to go for the whole corpse paint thing and go through all that? Because I know obviously you don't do that. were you ever tempted, or has anyone tried to steer you down that sort of that road or not?
No, not really. And the corpse paint just wouldn't fit for me. I'm just not into that. Like it would annoy me. I like haven't put on paint and stuff. Like I don't know. I like to just keep it. I don't know. I don't want to pretend that I'm something I'm not. Like I'm not good at playing a different part and stuff. So like with HELLRIPPER being like I would say HELLRIPPER is a representation of myself, and I'm not like trying to be evil. I'm not trying to give a persona that I'm evil and satanic and all that. Like I like HELLRIPPER's a fun band more than anything. Like so the corpse paint and stuff wouldn't work for me personally. I mean, like with bands that do it, it does work. But for me, it just I wouldn't feel right doing it myself.
A lot of them bands that do it, and then as soon as they open their mouth, they sound like Popeye. Have you noticed?
What, like when they're like on stage and like?
Well, just the way that they deliver the vocals, they're trying to be as evil as possible and all that. But they end up sounding like fucking Popeye.
I guess that's just the style they're going for. I know a few bands that I'm a fan of. Their vocals sound like SpongeBob when he shouts. It sounds ridiculous, but it works. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Popeye vocal.
Next question for you. Next question, James. So where did the inspiration to Vampire's Grave come from?
So that's a story. It's like a Scottish story that happened in the 50s, where a bunch of school kids spread a rumor or rumors that in the Glasgow necropolis there was a beast with iron fangs that killed a few children and stuff. And one night, or over a couple of nights, a bunch of the children from the school, from the nearby area, went hunting for a vampire in the Glasgow necropolis. And it's like it's quite recent. I mean, it actually happened in the 50s, so it's like quite a recent thing. And I thought it was quite a cool subject and quite interesting that a rumor got that far out of hand. And I believe it like led to the banning of selling some comic books, like American horror comics and stuff like that. So I thought it was a cool story. But obviously, the vampire is real and eats all the children in true black metal fashion.
Nice one. Thank you for that. So a bit of a muso question for you. This is Liam, the Death Doom metalhead.
What are you going through?
So my amp wise, I use a Marshall JCM 900 combo for recording, and for live I use a JCM 900 head with whatever cab. Like I'm not too fussed myself. I use a Black Star cab, but usually, yeah, I mean it's fine. The JCM 900 head is where I get all the sounds for recording, and it just goes straight into the guitar. I don't use any pedals or anything like that. Just straight into a Gibson Explorer is what I use for everything, basically.
Wow. And you don't use any pedals, you say, just straight in?
Yeah, just straight in. It's a lot easier. I feel I'm too clumsy and stuff. I'd fall over pedals, I'd trip over the wires and shit. So it's too much to concentrate on. I'd just rather.
Yeah. You see some guitarists and they've got these pedal boards that are as big as some of the stages I've played on.
Oh yeah,
huge.
When pedals are great when used properly and stuff. I mean, I've got no problem with using pedals. Just for me, it's just more practical for me not to. I don't like to overcomplicate things. It just means I can get the exact sound I want, like it's just easy. It's just plug in and play. Like I don't need to set up anything. I don't want to worry about accidentally pressing the pedal live or missing or forgetting to press the pedal, or the pedal cables becoming like cables fucking up and stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's all along, James, because when I had on the compilation before, the Total Mayhem compilation, some of the guitar tones on that were really reminiscent of the first Bathory album, massively.
Yeah, that was a big.
When you put Black Arts and Alchemy on, it's a different tone completely.
Yeah, it's the exact same equipment. The exact same equipment, exact same process. I guess it's just more experience in using it, I guess. Because I mean, the first EP, I had no idea what I was doing. Like I was like learning as I went. I'd never recorded myself before. So I mean, I was just kind of trying stuff. So I guess it's mainly to do with the mixing and the mic placement, maybe some of the amp settings. Yeah, I mean, it's everything else is the same. So I guess it would just be that. Maybe just different playing style as well. That could probably contribute to a lot of it.
Another question.
Next question. Final Hazard.
So how do I construct an album? The sound goes together first all the time. I usually get the album recorded, completely recorded, like final recorded, and then I like start working on the lyrics because I find it easier to fit words around music. It's difficult to like come up with a tune, like a melody on guitar, like to try and fit previously written lyrics for me. So yeah, I write the music, record all the music completely, and then I come up with lyrics and stuff. Other than the occasional, like I'll like randomly come up with a lyric or something and write that down. But 99% of the time, it's everything. All the lyrics are written after the music's recorded.
So after the whole album is recorded, that's when you. Wow.
Yeah, it's just easier for me because it allows me to like get a better idea of how things will sound if I've actually got the final recording. So I can try stuff, and because I mean, if you're trying stuff, just kind of playing it like acoustically, or if you're playing it along with demo versions, it can change and stuff. For me, I don't get the full picture and stuff. Like it's kind of difficult to tell where it'll end up. Yeah. So yeah, it's just the versions like allow me to get the overall picture of how the song will sound and stuff like that.
And as you're sort of writing those riffs and you're playing along, is there no sort of vocal ideas in your head wise? And when you're sort of playing the riff, are you just concentrating on the riff, the guitaring? Do you not sort of have any sort of subliminal sort of thing in your head where you're thinking you kind of know what you're going to sound like singing over it? Or
yeah, sometimes I get that. Like sometimes like I'll come up with a riff and then I'll just like think, oh, maybe I'll try a vocal here, and like something will come naturally. But yeah, there's a song on the new album. Can't remember what it's called. Blood Orgy of the She Devils. Fucking hell, blank right there. And then,
what a great time.
Yeah, it came just as I was playing the main riff. I just started singing along with the main riff, and those lyrics just came like to my head, came to me. So like that. But oftentimes it's difficult because a lot of the time that I've tried it before, where like I try and think of the vocals and the music at the same time, but that kind of makes me dilute the music because I think, oh, I probably can't sing along with this guitar riff. It's too complicated.
So right, okay.
If I focus on just the guitar and the music and stuff first, the guitar is going to be as complicated or as simple as it needs to be, and then the vocals come in afterwards, and then I need to learn how to sing at the same time. Like I've got no option. Like
yeah. That's actually a pretty good way to do it. Now you've actually explained it like that.
Yeah.
When you said you recorded the whole album, and then you've got to do the lyrics, I thought that would, if I had to do something like that, it would scare the shit out of me because all those lyrics you'd have to write. But the way you explained it there, it actually sounds probably easier than having to just write a full song, then write a full song, then write a full song.
Yeah, and I can't remember. I think the first few songs, I think the first EP and stuff, I did it like that, where I wrote it like kind of song by song because I didn't know what I was doing. It was just, I didn't know how many songs I was going to record, etc. So I just kind of went song by song, kind of done it how, just as soon as something came to me, I done it like that. But as the years have gone on, I've kind of developed my own like process, which is more efficient and works for me better. So it's just like learning and experience and shit like that.
Yeah. It's obviously working well.
Mm-hmm.
How old were you?
Nice easy one. How old were you when you started HELLRIPPER?
Officially, I believe I was 18 or 19. But HELLRIPPER, the idea, I think when I was 16 or 17, I wrote one EP. And it was kind of, it was less of a black thrash kind of approach, and it was more like kind of straightforward thrash, kind of like the main inspiration was Agent Orange era Sodom. And yeah, I recorded an EP and I didn't like how it turned out, so I deleted that and waited a year or two and then started again.
So do you work as well, James, or do you focus all your time on this? Because I imagine we're doing the whole, composing the songs, recording the songs yourself, doing all the merch things. Surely there can't really be any time to do anything else.
Full HELLRIPPER is my full-time thing at the moment, and I also do like web design and kind of stuff like that sometimes, and mix and master for other bands as well. Like since I've learned how to mix and master and all that, so I've like started offering my services to other bands.
That's amazing, by the way. That's honestly amazing.
And
to come from like really no experience to recording your first EP, and then obviously learning as you go, and then even just deleting that full first EP, and then just sitting in a room recording it all yourself. That's some feat.
It is. It's you've got a strong head on your shoulders there, James. It's quite a mature sort of thing. I think sometimes when you're younger, you're wanting to do it all and do it a million mile an hour.
Yeah.
And to sit back and actually take stock and think, I'm not happy with that. I need to sort of go about this a different way. And know what your limitations or your skills are at the time. It's very impressive, mate. Very impressive.
Yeah, the amount of stuff I've deleted over the past couple of years is ridiculous. Like so much songs I put in that just get deleted or reworked or whatever. I try not to delete.
Is that not all your discs in the future for you?
Sorry?
What was that?
All those ones you've deleted, is that not all the bonus CDs that would go in the future reissues with all the demo stuff that bands tend to put out?
Yeah, I did think of that, but then I don't want to put out anything that I don't like, even if it's a bonus or if it's for a sport or something. So, because
I think that's a great.
Yeah, even if it's like a bonus or whatever, it still represents the band, I think. So I don't want to put out anything that I'm not happy with. Like, even if it's just a bonus or just a throwaway or something, I don't really see a point. I usually, what I've done recently is I usually go through, if I haven't deleted it, I usually go through the old songs and kind of take parts that are good and repackage them in a new song. Try and improve on the original song, and yeah, so it makes it. So
I think what's great as well is because you're not renting studios and stuff. You've got your own studio, so you can actually take as much time as you need. You're not under pressure. There's no time pressure to bang out an album or anything like that.
Yeah.
You can just sit that. Oh, that song's crap. Oh, well, we need to get it on the album, so we need to just do something with it.
Yeah.
You can just go scrub, start again.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good freedom to have.
Yeah, it's both a blessing and a curse, because then it leads me to take absolutely fucking ages on getting like the perfect take or whatever. Like I'll do like a vocal line or whatever. Like I'll record like one line on vocals or whatever, and then I'll get my girlfriend to like come through and I'll be like, "What do you think of this?" And I'll show her like 15 different takes, and she'll be like, "They sound exactly the same." I'm like, no. Here, like on this one, I go like a little sound at the end of the line here and stuff. Like, it makes the whole song sound shit and stuff. So like, it takes me way longer than it should to do stuff. But I'd rather that than try and force a bunch of shit out just because I do. Like, so I've got no time and stuff.
Because there's always bands as well that they look back on their catalogue, and there'll always be an album they'll go, "Oh, I wasn't happy with that," or "We were rushed to do this or rushed to do that." When you can basically write an album and then be 100% happy that that's what you're putting out, and then it goes out.
Yeah.
So it means you don't have to turn back in time and think back to a certain album and go, "Oh yeah, that just wasn't in the right space," or I wasn't happy with it, but I had to go out. So that's good. You've got that that freedom of time to just do your 50 takes or whatever, and just get every single thing to your specification. Really.
Yeah, it's the best way. But yeah, I'm never 100% happy. There's always like stuff that I can't fix, like, like, or stuff that you hear that you wish you'd done better and stuff. In hindsight, you're like, you notice like a tiny little thing that no one else is going to notice. You're like,
you're always going to be your own worst critic. I was like that when I used to do photography. I was it doesn't matter how many people say that photograph's fantastic. If you think it's shit, it's shit. And
exactly.
Out. It's one of them, isn't it? But as long as you don't sort of believe your hype and all that shit, you're the best filter for your work, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, another question. Last question. I think we've got Von Doom.
Do I use any effects on my vocals?
Any vocal effects?
Not really. A bit of reverb, a bit of delay. Sometimes in the past I've used a bit of distortion, but yeah, reverb and delay usually just makes it sound a bit fuller. Makes it sound a bit more old school as well sometimes. Yeah, I try not to use too many effects and stuff like that. I like to try and, like I said, same with the guitar, I don't like to overcomplicate things. So I try and, if it's possible to get things done with like little effects or little interference, I try and do that. But yeah, delay and reverb make to get everything sounding a bit fuller, a bit more old school, a bit better, and that's about it, really.
I suppose as well, you've got to think about doing a live performance. So you can't I suppose you could, but you don't really want to put out an album that sounds completely different live, because you've got to sing a certain way or play the guitar a certain way. You kind of want to play these things exactly how you'd want them to sound on a CD or. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, I try and, since it's a one-man thing, I try and make it sound like a band as much as possible, and I try and kind of, like, I do want to get the kind of live band kind of sound to it. Like, so it's just a simple, like simple like it's guitars, drums, bass. Like I don't want to add too much. I don't want to try and add loads of stuff. It just I don't want to like
overcomplicate it and make it busy. Really.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah. I think it's like the old saying, less is more, isn't it? If you start, once you start tweaking and putting little bits, you can go on forever and ever and ever, can't you?
Yeah, exactly. It's like a few. Quite often, I try and like I'll have a guitar part and I'll record like loads of like little harmonies or like double track the guitar. So I've got like 10 things going on, and then I'll listen back to it, and it sounds like a giant mess. So I delete like 8 of the tracks, and then it sounds a lot better. It sounds so like there is like the trap of trying to make everything heavier, make everything fuller, add harmonies to make it sound a bit cooler, a bit more different and stuff like that. But then, like you kind of, you've got to try and kind of filter yourself, because what's fun to do and what's like complicated to do and impressive to do doesn't always sound the best. So it's like if I started like doing mad shreddy guitar solos that like didn't fit the music, it's impressive, but if it doesn't fit the music, it's like there's no point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
so what's this about? I don't know what Twitch is, I have to admit. So what's this question is, how's the response been on the Twitch stream? What do you do on Twitch streams? Tell us about that.
I used to, well, I still do occasionally. I've set up a Twitch account around, I think it was the start of lockdown, where I was just doing guitar playthroughs, like live streams on Twitch. I was just doing guitar playthroughs, doing Q&As and stuff, chatting with people, listening to music, getting recommendations and stuff. And that was fun. Like, it was cool speaking to loads of people. But over the summer, I kind of stopped doing it. I started doing other stuff and got like distracted and stuff, and I haven't got back into it recently. But I'll start doing it again for sure. But
cool.
What albums have you been listening to that's just come out this year, James? Can you throw any recommendations out that's sort of floating your boat at the moment?
Yeah, so I mean, if anyone hasn't heard the new Midnight, I would check out that. Try to think what else came out this year. The new Catatonia, I like that one. There's a band that's just released a song today. They've got a new album coming out this year. Swedish band called Sarkator or Sarkator. It's coming out on Redefining Darkness. It's a really cool Swedish band, like really young kids. I'm not sure how old they are. Maybe 14, 15, one of them is. It's Marco from The Crown, the death metal band. Yeah. The Crown. It's his son, and they are like killer black death thrash kind of stuff. I think they put out an EP. It was either this year or last year, I can't remember, but they've got a new album coming out this year, and the first song released today, so I would check that out. I've been really liking the couple of new songs that Necrophobic put out. The band Butcher from Belgium, they've put out a really cool, I guess it's kind of black speed heavy metal. It's kind of like Motorhead, King Diamond, Bathory. Like, that's cool.
Excellent.
My friends in Wraith, they put out an EP this year, a 4-track EP that was out a couple of months ago. That was really cool. Kind of Toxic Holocaust vibes there. It's probably more. I can't think off the top of my head. This year's just been a blur. Like, time-wise, I've got no idea.
Yeah. March seems like it was 2 years ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, this year's just been a bit of a write-off, really.
I know. The time's just like non-existent. Like, I'm.
So is there any more singles?
Yeah, the title track of the album will be out on the 25th of this month.
Nice.
And then the album will be out on the 9th. So there's like a song in between.
Spectre of the Blood Moon Sabbath is a tremendous song.
Thank you.
It is. I listened to it, and you know, when on a first listen, you don't really have an opinion. You just think, all right, okay. And I just listened to it again and again, and it's actually so catchy. I just kept on clicking the link and then kept on clicking the link. It is a brilliant song.
Thank you.
So I was hoping there was maybe some more singles coming out before the album dropped.
Yeah,
I do differently to you, Scott. What I did was, as soon as you put out the new thing, and I click it and I listen to it and think, thank God for that, and then just pre-order. And then I don't spoil it for myself. You know what I mean? I don't want to get the physical product and end up sicking myself with part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So that's what I wanted. That's what I hoped for. Add to back or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm waiting for my records to arrive before I dive into it. I want that first play, that virgin play. I want to take the cherry of that record and have it on the turntable, and it's mine.
I'm too impatient for that. I'm usually like straight on. As soon as a band releases the single, I'm like, yes, straight on.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
I've got no patience for that. Like,
do you buy physical media, James, or are you more of a download or a purchaser through iTunes or whatever? Or
I buy CDs.
Oh,
CDs
that's
I started buying CDs like when I was really young. So I had like quite a little collection of CDs before I like properly got into music. So I had like a little collection of CDs, and then as I got into metal, I started buying the CDs, and then it was too late for me to start buying vinyl. Like collecting vinyl was like too late for me to start a new collection, and too expensive, like to kind of have like two different collections, like a vinyl and CD. So I just tend to buy things on CD if I can.
It's nice to see someone of your age still sort of championing the physical format. You know, a lot of people who are young, you know, teenagers, early 20s, I speak to them about my collection, and they're just like, why'd you buy them? You can just listen to them on your phone. And it's like, you know, it's nice to see someone from the next generation, which you are, still championing it, you know.
I do use Spotify as well, because like it's useful, like if you're going on a walk or whatever, to have it like just stick your earphones in and you've got it on your phone. I do like to I do use that for convenience as well, but if I can, I prefer to buy CDs, and then Spotify second or whatever.
And I think it's a nice way. I think also with the physical format, you always feel like you're supporting the band a little bit more, you know.
Yeah, I think so. It's just cooler. I think I like getting the CD and like reading through the booklet and stuff, and seeing photos or seeing the liner notes and stuff.
Absolutely.
I think it's just cooler than sticking on something on YouTube, Spotify, or whatever. Like, it's cool to like read about the album, read the lyrics, see who wrote the lyrics and shit. Just like simple stuff like that. You know, there's just like an appeal to it for me.
It warms this old man's heart to hear, I tell you.
Well, I ended up only buying the cassette, the HELLRIPPER cassettes, because a lot of the time when you know these guys suggest something, I'm kind of like, I'm hard to cook. And then all of a sudden, out the blue, All Hail the Goat was recommended through YouTube, and I was like, fucking hell. And I remember sending it to Andy, saying, what about this? And he went, yeah, I've already got that. I've already shown that. And I was like, right, okay. So I jumped on Bandcamp, but the only thing I could buy at the time, CDs and stuff, and the Vine and that, had sold out. So the cassette, and I only actually started buying the cassettes to support you. So I was pleased to learn at the start of this video that all the stuff's going to get reissued, because I'll buy it on a more preferable format to me. You know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
But,
The cassette for the Coagulating Darkness, the CDs sold out like quite quickly, and then the label the label had to stop operating. Unfortunately, the Barbarian Wrath, the guy in charge, he unfortunately passed away a while back. But so the CDs were kind of sold out, and then they were kind of left like there wasn't anything for a while. And I don't really like. I like focusing on like the next thing. I don't really like trying to sort out reissues and stuff. I'd rather just go on to the next thing, try and record new music and get the next release out there. So that's what I did like for ages, and then I decided like it was best that I just repress the CDs myself. So I got them, the Coagulating Darkness CDs, repressed myself just to get them out there, really.
So who does the HELLRIPPER artwork?
So the
album same person.
The album artwork, most of it, like the cover art for the releases, is done by Skavvaldur, an Icelandic artist who is really cool. Yeah, he done the Black Arts artwork. He done the Coagulating Darkness artwork. He done the new album, The Affair of the Poisons artwork. He done the first EP artwork, and he done one or two of my split release artwork. He's a great artist, like really cool. Comes up with like really cool ideas and stuff. And the merch artwork, I like to collaborate with a lot of different artists. Like I like to get a lot of different styles, like a lot of different artists involved. So I've used 3 or 4 different artists for the new merchandise. Which is cool because it's cool to get like a different perspective on things, and kind of the merch kind of like has a different style, so they don't look the same and stuff. And it's just cool to expand, get like, because there's so much amazing artists in metal right now. Like there is that, yeah. I want to work with like 100 different artists. Like there's so much.
I've been noticing a guy called Mark Riddick who's been
Mark Riddick. He doing
a lot of artwork at the moment.
He done
fabulous artist.
I done a split with his band Fetid Zombie, and he done the artwork for that.
That's right. Yeah.
He's ridiculous. He messaged me like with like a vague sketch. He said, "Oh, do you like this artwork?" And I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, I'll try to get it finished." And like within a day, it was like fully inked. It was like uploaded to the computer. Everything. It was the guy. Like he's just so good at what he does. I absolutely love his stuff. I saw he done a new design for Warbringer today.
Yeah.
And it looked really cool.
Wow.
He's a great artist. He's one of my favorites.
So do you let the artists, them do their thing, or do you give them an idea? Do you say, for my album, I want this tone, I want this theme, or do you just let them go with what they feel?
For the most part, I let them do what they want. Sometimes I'll, for the new album, I gave Skavvaldur the album title, and I said I want it to be kind of blue in color, and I want a goat in the background, kind of like in the style of like Dio albums, you know, with the devil guy in the background, like on a Holy Diver and stuff like that, where like the devil's kind of in the background, kind of like standing. So I gave him that kind of guidance, and then he came up with the rest himself, like ridiculous. It's so cool to see people come up with the ideas that they come up with, like that. Like I would never think of. would never think is possible. I would never come up with this concept and stuff. Obviously, they're like professionals; they know what they're doing, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But really cool to see that. Like, it's great.
So have you seen any HELLRIPPER tattoos yet?
No, I haven't. But
They'll be coming.
I think Mike's going to get one soon.
Yeah, I think Mike.
I think Mike's going to be your first. I'm thinking a full
next to his Slayer.
piece.
Yeah, but no tattoos yet.
Who designed the goat on the flag that Mike's expertly displaying in the background?
The goat was by a guy called EGA Artwork. He done that really quickly as well. Like, again,
was that something quite early on when you got started?
I think it was actually just around the time of the first album, so it was like 2 years into it. It wasn't supposed to be like a logo. It was just meant to be a t-shirt design. I really like the Motorhead England design.
Yeah.
So like, can you do this, like, say HELLRIPPER Scotland with a goat instead of the snaggletooth? And it was just supposed to be like a design, but everyone kind of used it as a logo.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Like, so I thought, yeah.
You need a COVID mask with that one.
I did think of that, but I've got too much stuff in that store already. that new merch that dropped.
You can't have too much stuff in the store. Honestly,
I don't want to turn into Kiss. Like, just it's just too...
Mike will buy it all. Don't you worry, James.
Yeah. Michael have the HELLRIPPER pinball machine.
I'm holding out for the HELLRIPPER Y fronts.
No, you're approaching the HELLRIPPER coffin.
Yeah.
Someone just said there, James. You need a name. You need a name for the goat.
A name for the mascot.
Yeah, you need a mascot. Yeah.
Right, everyone, give us your suggestions.
Well, hang on. Now that is a good segue, James. I'll tell you what we'll do is,
Perfect.
If you want to win the new HELLRIPPER album on CD, we will get that sent out to you. And what we'll do is, if you put in the comments section after this video, first of all, subscribe to the channel, put in the comment section what would be your name for the HELLRIPPER goat mascot. And James can come back and decide what name he likes best. And then that lucky viewer wins the CD. How does that sound?
I'd go for that. That sounds good.
Now, let's just put it out there, though, that it's not going to be the official name of the goat. Let's just
Yeah.
Aye, that's you're not going to be like, oh, I named the goat from HELLRIPPER.
Oh yeah. If everyone's shit and James doesn't like the name of anyone, fuck all you lot. You know.
Oh yeah. He can pick his favourite, but not what it's officially going to be called.
Yeah.
But you will win the CD, and you know.
But you can win the CD.
That's right.
So yes.
James.
That sounds fair.
That sounds good.
You never know. Good enough. It might be the official name. You know what I mean?
Could be. There's no name for it right now. I mean,
the devil of the trier.
Exactly.
I think after this sort of video, it's going to be called Mike. Surely.
Mike the goat.
Yeah.
Super
I've
fan.
had a bottle of wine and 3 cans. That is my excuse. If I come off looking like a total fucking fanboy, it's so cool.
It's all fun.
So we've got some names on the comments, but leave them in actually the video comments rather than on the chat comments, because it's
when this video is finished.
Honestly, there's some good ones coming in so far, and
brilliant.
I look forward to. I'm not going to put them up on the screen right now because I think we want to give everyone a chance, and obviously people who watch this video, watch it back that aren't watching it live, you're still welcome to join And we generally have a copy of the CD that we've sourced to. Obviously, it's not going to be available till October the 9th, till we actually get our hands on it. But
maybe that's when we should leave it open.
Winner.
Will you leave it until then? CD? Yeah. Will you get hold of that CD, James, before I get hold of it to put your moniker on there, or will it come direct from Peaceville?
If it's ordered from Bandcamp, it comes from me. So all that's from me. If you order from Peaceville or any other store, it will come from there. But Bandcamp comes from me. And
about 3 days ago, so I
saw you posted. I saw you ordered it on Bandcamp. So yeah, that'll come through me. So you want me to sign that one?
Right.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be really good if you could.
Yeah. Cool, no problem.
So that's a signed.
But don't sign it to Mike, because that'll ruin it away if you do it to Mike.
I'll sign it as well if you want.
You can sign it. Sign it to the name of the goat.
Thanks very much for joining us tonight. It's been absolutely fantastic, and I hope everyone out there's enjoyed it. I know I certainly have enjoyed getting the inside scoop on some things, and just really appreciate you taking out this time of your day. I know you're half our age and you've got other things, far better things you could be doing, but you've took the time out to talk to us old fogies, and I really appreciate that. So
no, man, thank you guys for having me here.
It has been really good, and you've given us all the interesting details of your albums, and we just, like Mike said, we just really appreciate you doing it.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate you having me on. I've not been doing anything. I've got nothing better to do as well, so don't worry.
With your contract you signed up for, you see, because when you headline Bloodstock 2030 and you've turned into Quorthon for the next generation, you've got to come back on our fucking channel.
Yeah.
Anytime.
We might have hit 200 subscribers.
It's a dream.
That'll be awesome.
Man, I'm happy to come on anytime.
Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
All the best with the release of the new album, James. I hope that goes well. I'm sure it will. You've got the backing of a good label there, Peaceville, and you're a very talented young man. So I wish you all the best, mate.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks very much for your time, James. Really appreciated.
All hail the goat.
All hail the goat.
There we go.
October 9th.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. See you next time.